Mr. Trizzle Dizzle, I thought I told you to pay me $500 million. Did you bring that money today?
No.
Well, that's too bad. I need my money, sucker. So what I'm gonna do is take all your properties in New York and start selling... what the... Did you just flip me off?
No.
Yes, you did. You just flipped me the bird. If you don't shape up and get your head straight... See there, you just did it again.
No, I didn't.
Oh, Mike. It just so happens that minutes before you've joined our program here, Letitia James officially announced, investigated by the FBI. They've opened an investigation into what we lovingly call Big Tish on this program. Mike, I just want to say that we're thankful for you because you announced this audience that this would be happening maybe 4 months ago. And you remain the most right guest we've had on this program consistently.
Thank you, Ben. I would say to Big Tish, lawyer up because nobody's above the law. And there's pretty damning evidence that you lied on your mortgage application for your Virginia home. You said that was your primary residence. Which is clearly a lie because you are the New York Attorney General. And as the New York Attorney General, you are required by New York statute to have your primary residence in the state of New York. So you have a lot of explaining to do in the Eastern District of Virginia when they indict your fat ass and they drag you down and make you sit through a federal trial. And this couldn't be better for me because remember, this is the same Big Tish who went after President Trump and tried to bankrupt him for civil fraud, for the nod fraud of President Trump paying back sophisticated Wall Street banks on time, in full, as agreed, with interest. And Big Tish went to that nut job New York judge, Arthur Engeron, and tried to say that Trump somehow duped these sophisticated Wall Street banks, even though the contracts require they do their own due diligence, so they couldn't be duped. But their theory was that Mar-a-Lago was worth that was only worth $18 million because the tax assessor said it was worth $18 million. And as we've said for a long time on this show, Ben, a tennis court at Mar-a-Lago is worth more than $18. This is the most prime real estate in the world. It's in Palm Beach, Florida. It's 20 acres of land. It's the most unique property in the world. It's the only property, I believe, that touches both the Atlantic Ocean and the intra-coastal waterway. It's worth at least $500 million and probably north of $1 billion. So, but Big Tish has said that nobody's above the law. She campaigned on getting Trump, and she's going to get hoisted by her own petard here. And that's a very strong petard if it can lift her fat ass.
Mike, Big Tish has responded to you, actually. It seems like your appearances on this program, Mike, have really gotten under her skin, which is quite an accomplishment. We have a brand new video out from this morning of Big Tish. She doesn't seem to be doing well. I just want to play you a few seconds of it. Let's go.
And you want me to sit in my seat and stand idly by and allow this craziness to happen? You could come after me if you want, but you elected me to stand up. You elected me to use the law. You elected me to go to court. You elected me to continue to challenge this administration.
All right, enough. Mike, your retort here, again, she doesn't seem of sound mind. It seems like she's breaking. My assessment of this, and we watch a lot of clips on this program, is that she's not doing well.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that she's either not doing well, or it could be this very wealthy and sophisticated woman is going ghetto to play to the jury pool, right? This is what they do. They go to their black churches and pretend like they're the victim of persecution. This is all racism. I would say that I'm very happy that President Trump is going to reopen ALCATRAZ because we could put Big Tish on Alcatraz, and maybe we can plant hay and just let her go graze around Alcatraz. And so it would be a perfect place for her. She has a thick skin like an elephant. And I'm very excited for justice to come here. I'm very excited that the FBI's opened this probe. Thank you to Kash Patel and Dan Bongino if they had anything to do with this. But justice is coming, because think about if justice did not come here. If you have this very wealthy woman lying on a mortgage application and getting away with it, that seems like that wouldn't be a very effective deterrent for a lot of people who are applying for these home loans and lying on their applications. And so nobody's above the law, and Big Tish needs to be made an example out of, and she needs to go to jail. Like, he tried to ruin President Trump, and man, it's just boomerang back on her.
Mike, I want to very quickly stop here at a post that you made this morning about John Roberts. Speaking of a boomerang, John Roberts was appointed Chief Justice by a Republican administration. Many of us at the time, being dreamy-eyed, I think nascent observers, thought that this would cement a conservative court. But it has done the exact opposite. And you write a message here to Judge Roberts saying that when a federal judge illegally opens his courtroom on a Saturday, exposing an ongoing military operation endangers American allied lives, it's impeachable. Impeachment is a political question. Zip it. So this is I assume, in contrast with what John Roberts said this past weekend, which is that it's his job to check the excesses of President Trump. And he said that at a forum. Now we've learned a lot about John Roberts and his connections with Norm Eisen, who's plowed so much money into putting Trump in prison. And we've seen some stunning rulings out of the Supreme Court. Your message to John Roberts, perhaps you could just pick it up from this tweet.
I would say this to the Chief Justice, John Roberts. I know him personally. I like him. I clerked for Justice Gorsuch. John Roberts is a perfectly good man. But when he tries to take off his judicial robe and climb into the political arena and throw political punches, he should expect powerful political counterpunches from the Article 3 project and elsewhere. I would also say this to John Roberts. He thinks he's a masterful politician. Number one, that's not his job. And number two, if it were his job, he is terrible at it. He is a terrible politician. Judges are terrible politicians. They don't like to hear that because they think that they're good at everything, because they have a bunch of sycophants around them all day with law clerks and secretaries, and particularly at the Supreme Court. I've seen it myself, but these judges are terrible politicians. They wear robes, not capes. Their job is to decide cases and controversies of the parties properly before them with redressable claims. That's their Article 3 power, right? It's not to wear capes. They're not narcissistic superheroes in capes who think it's their job to fly around and right every perceived wrong. They're mere mortals. They're mere judges. They have a crucial job, but it's a very limited job under our constitutional order. And their job is certainly not to hold political rallies in Buffalo and tell their 600-person political rally that they're the political counterweight to the president of the United States. That he's going to lose that fight, I promise you.
Mike, I can't believe this, and this has never happened with a guest, but you are on live during two massive breaking news moments that directly cross paths with what you do professionally at the Article 3 Project. Trump announcing that Ed Martin, he will be dropping that nomination. That's a nomination that we were going to spend the entire show fighting for. We know Ed Martin, and we think that he's done an incredible job, even in his short tenure as the federal D.C. prosecutor for the District of Columbia. Your thoughts on this? Trump saying that he wants to bring him potentially into the DOJ in some capacity, and that he's going to have a new announcement. Did you know about this, Mike? And what's your takeaway here?
I have many discussions with the president, and I'm not going to talk about those discussions on your show. Ed Martin is a very good man. He is a close friend of mine. We fought very hard at the Article 3 Project to get him confirmed. We have Republicans in the Senate who were not going to vote for him, right? And I think that they were very dug in about this. I think that we have some weak sisters among our Senate Republicans, and they're not willing to fight like Democrats are. Remember, Rachel Rawlings was the Boston U.S. Attorney for Biden. Extremely controversial, much more controversial than Ed Martin, and Democrats confirmed her with Vice President Kamala Harris's tie-breaking vote. Democrats are just weak, right? They are the string orchestra on the Titanic. They want to look majestic while the Titanic is going down, and I think the Trump wing of the Republican Party are willing to throw people off the lifeboats. And so that's the difference between the Bush 43 wing, the country club wing of the Republican Party, and the MAGA wing. And I hope the country club wing understands that when these Marxists get through the MAGA wing, they're going to come for the country club wing next. There aren't going to be political survivors after the Marxist revolution. So, it's they're too stupid and naive to understand that they're being played. But they want to be the acceptable Republicans until there are no longer other Republicans for the Marxists to politically murder.
Yeah, incredible. Appease the alligator. Well, we have quite a fighter coming on right after Josh Hawley. Senator Hawley is on up next, and so we're going to ask him about this. Mike, we appreciate you responding to this breaking news that's breaking just this second, and disappointing to us, but let's see if we can stiffen some spines. Thank you, Mike, for your work at Article 3 Project. Everyone follow Mike. He's got 400,000 subscribers now on X. You all know Mike Davis. He's an absolute monster and a bare knuckle brawler. And well, you know what? If he were in charge, he'd be it wouldn't be Ed Martin. It'd be him as the viceroy. It'd be Mike as the viceroy with a frilly collar and a waxed mustache. So we'll keep pushing for that. Our audience here stands with you, Mike. Godspeed.
Thank you.